Hi, this is Ross Waddell, developer of the WonderFest Contest Entry Management System, here again for part 5, entering model info into the database, searching and editing. Quick look at the list of video tutorials. You see I've added an extra one. We're now up to 7. I had to split off the model photos part from part 5 as it didn't quite fit under the 10-minute requirement for YouTube. So that will be its own tutorial all on its own. But in this one, let's talk about entering a model info, specifically adding an individual record using the add new, and then using the bulk quick create. So let's jump right in. I'm just going to launch the application here. And I'll log in. Always say open, and away we go. So you notice I didn't get prompted about initializing the contest here. So if you've been watching the previous tutorials, we've installed it, we've initialized the 2010 contest year. We may or may not have changed any of the security settings, added users or deleted users, may or may not have set this up on multiple machines, but now we're ready to go. But as I'll do a quick query, and you'll see we've had no records yet for the 2010 year. So there's a couple of ways to, actually it's 3 different ways to enter a model record. Let's start off with the easiest one, which is just clicking either on the toolbar button. You can see it says new model entry record, or also you can see on the file new. Over on the model info screen, it blanks everything out and gets ready for a new entry. You'll see that it defaults the contest year to the current year, and if you just hit tab, you can get to the entry for number, which is a required field, and you can tell it's a required field because it's got the little red asterisk next to it. I'll enter my name, and you can just keep tabbing through, or you can click on whatever field, the next field you want to go to, but I like to keep my fingers on the keyboard. And I'm going to just change the category here, humor and super deformed, just so you can see the next one. And then you go up to the toolbar, and you can either on the toolbar or on edit, save. And the record is saved, and that's it. That's how you can enter an individual record. Now, quite often you'll get a bunch of sheets from modelers tend to enter, 4 or 5 models sometimes in a row. So rather than re-enter the name and the category, because quite often they also enter in the same category, you can just use this duplicate record. It says copy model entry record. Again, you can do it through the file menu, or you can do it through here. So if I click this, it copies certain fields. And you'll see it copied my first name, my last name, and the category, just in case it's exactly the same one, although of course you can change it. So I'm going to I'll leave it here, and then I'll call it. And then again, I can just click save over up here in the toolbar if I can get my mouse to work. And that's it. That's how you can copy an individual record. Now you'll notice that there's a lot of fields here which don't have a red asterisk, which means of course they're not required. It also means you have to need to tab through all of them in order to get to the fields that you want to enter. When, especially at the beginning of the model contest, all you really want to do is just get them in quickly and get the bare fields in. So what I've done is I've added this quick create. So you click that button on the toolbar, and it comes up with a screen that lists only the required fields, apart from the table number, to make things easy. And there's keyboard shortcuts here, so you literally don't have to take your fingers off the keyboard. You see the S under Save and New, which is the default button because it's highlighted, so you can also just hit Enter. The S has an underscore on it. That means you can use the Alt S key to activate that function. The button next to it says Save and Close, and the C has an underscore under it, so if you hit Alt-C, that will save whatever the current record that you've entered in, and then close the screen. And then the little L here in clear it has an underscore, so if you hit Alt-L, it will clear all the fields, in case you want to blank everything out for a new person, and then Alt-E for exit. So, for example, I can do this, and select a category, and Mecha, tab, and then 104. Now if I do save and new, it's going to save whatever you see here and start again. Now again, it copies the first name and last name and the category in case, again, it happens to be the same. Now you could just tab through it and delete it and enter whatever you want, or you could hit the Alt-L to clear everything and then start again. So this You see I just hit the H and it picked humor and super deformed for me, so you can also just hit the H to, or S for sci-fi and then S again for superheroes. You can use the S key or whichever is the first letter key for the category. Save this, and then I can do Alt C for save and close, and that's the quick create. So now that we've entered a bunch of records in, you may be interested to see what those records are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the search button. I've got the contest year is 2010. If I don't enter anything else, it's going to show me all records where contest year equals 2010. And here's the 4 records that I've entered so far. Each one of these fields for searching is like putting an and in between them. So if I were to enter contest year 2010 and first name equals Ross and click search, you'll see it only finds 3 records because now it's filtering on contest year equals 2010 and first name equals Ross. You could take that out and say all humor and super deformed, and then it would get these 3 that I've entered so far. So again, every field is like it's one big filter that says contest year equals 2010 and category equals humor and super deformed, and you can filter it in however way you want to. You could blank out the category and say show me all the gold medals for the contest year. You see there are none for this year. However, if I go to the previous year, and if you remember that I provided sample data for 2009, it shows all 15 records that got a gold in 2009. So that's the searching feature. If I look at editing, if you wanted to edit a record for whatever reason, if you want to come back and do anything with it, sometimes it keeps the old. My mouse is dying. The batteries on my mouse are dying, so it's there we go. So there's the 4 records. If you want to edit a record, you can just start typing. So you see the fields aren't disabled. So let's say you wanted to put in a person's address. I'm just using this as an example because I realize it's probably information you don't really want to keep for the purpose of the contest anyway. So I entered some information and then I clicked save. Sometimes, I know this is on the form, whether the model is secured to base. Maybe you didn't enter this the first time and you want to go back and edit, do this and then go and click save. It's sort of up to you. So that's it for, let me get back to my PowerPoint presentation. That's it for part 5. Join me in part 6 where we'll show you how to capture model photos.